Hey everybody, Rob from Sanford Soaring here. We're going to go flying in Ruby. Hopefully your instructor's gone over like all the details about what all the controls are and all the instruments are and everything along those lines. But we're just going to go out and take it for a quick flight, and I'll kind of show you some of the different behavioral things that it does. So Sue's doing the old take up slack. I've already given her the thumbs up, and pretty much as soon as the slack's out, we're going to go flying. It's going to be awesome. So let's go. So it looks like the slack is just about out. I've not heard anybody in the traffic pattern, so pretty much as soon as this happens, I'm going to go ahead and give her the rudder wag. Our emergency plan, by the way, just so you know, it's going to be 450 foot is going to be our turn back altitude, and we're going to do that from, we're going to be a left turn, so we should be ready to rock and roll. One of the big things here is as we're on the roll, just kind of take a visual look and kind of get an idea of what this attitude looks like, because this is actually going to be our landing attitude. One of the hardest things about Ruby is people tend to over-rotate on landing, and when you over-rotate on landing, what happens is you wind up banging the tail wheel in the ground, and it gets a little bit embarrassing. So anyway, so here we go. We're off, and what James is going to do, James is flying the tow plane, and what James is going to do is he's going to take us up to, I don't know, about 3,000 feet or about 3,250 on the altimeter, and then we're just going to go ahead and we'll go through a couple of maneuvers. So wife, just stick with me while we tow on up to 3,000 feet, and we'll talk when we get there. Okay, I lied. I'm going to talk to you a little bit before we get up to 3,000 feet, because I want to kind of go over a couple things about the tow. You're going to notice that the tow is really, I think personally, that it's a lot easier in Ruby. You know, if you take a look down at my controls, you're going to see just how little I'm moving that stick, right? So as you're making that transition from the 233 or from mod, what you're going to find is you're going to tend to start over controlling the glider a little bit. And it just takes a little bit of time, just like when you were first learning how to soar, right? Remember how you used to over control the stick all the time? Well, guess what? You're going to start doing that again, and you're just going to kind of want to relax and spend a little bit of time just kind of, getting used to chilling out. It's a real smooth day this morning. We're doing it today because it's going to be a sleigh ride kind of day, not a lot of lift. And so, it's kind of designed to make me look good. But, just be patient, just practice it, and you'll be amazed how well it'll work out. So, same tow position. We're just about at the height of James's head. I'm just trying to be a little bitty bit to the left of the center line, just to try to help him with the rudder. And when he makes a turn, I just kind of put this little rivet right here, right on the outboard wing, and it just works perfectly. So here we go. We're heading up to 1,700 feet. We got a good 600 foot per minute climb rate, and we'll be there in no time. So I'll talk to you just before we get ready to release. Alright, so we're up here. We're about 250 feet away from the release. I'm just sitting right behind James. He's going to put us right over the airport. So now's a good time for us, just like in the 233, you're looking for traffic. And just like the 233, when I pull that release, I'm going to go to the right, he's going to go to the left, and we're going to see what happens. So, you're ready? I'm ready. What do you say we go ahead and we'll release this thing? So, quick look to the right, we're good to go, 250 feet, and we're off to go flying. Woohoo! Okay, so a couple things about this glider. One of the things you want to be aware of is noise, right? So first thing is there's really two speeds that you want to pay a lot of attention to. One of them is going to be right here. It's about 40-ish, 45, something along those lines. That's probably going to be a pretty good thermaling speed. If you take a look over here at the vertical speed indicator, you're going to notice that we're really only showing, it looks like we're showing about minus 150 feet, so we're going about a knot and a half down. Realistically, we're going closer to 2 knots because this thing, zero is actually shows a 50-foot climb, so just something to be aware of. And life is pretty good. Now, as you know, if we're flying along at 45 miles an hour, we're not going to go very fast, so we're not going very far, so we're not going to penetrate very well. And so another speed that you want to pay attention to is kind of up around 55 miles an hour. So you can almost think of it like in the 233. What you want to do is you want to subtract about 5 knots from all of those speeds. So 55 here. Right, you're going to notice, well, I'm doing 50, let's go to actually 55, get the nose down, Rob. Right, you're going to notice that we lose a little bit of altitude here, a little bit of, vertical speed here as we accelerate. but we're still not going down all that fast. There's not a whole lot of difference between the two. The really nice thing though about that slow speed, about that 45 speed, is it's going to help you thermal just a whole lot better. Okay. Another good thing to get used to is get used to that attitude that's going to give you 45, because that's actually, again, that's going to be the landing attitude. That's the biggest issue that we run into with a lot of folks. Turns in this aircraft, pretty straightforward. We'll do a left turn here. I'm just going to do a nice little left 360 just for a clearing turn before we do anything wackadoo, right? And as we kind of turn around, again, very, very simple. I'm not using a whole lot of rudder pressure. I'm just, fingertips on the controls. I love this aircraft. This aircraft is one of the best flying aircraft that I've ever seen in my entire life. So it's just a joy and a thrill to fly. So, all right, so we've done a 180-degree turn. What do you say we go ahead and we'll start playing a little bit? We still 3,000 feet. We got plenty of altitude. So what do you say we try a stall, and we'll see what a stall does. So stall is going to be pretty simple. We're just going to go ahead and put the nose down, let the glider accelerate. I'll typically bring it up to, I don't know, we'll bring it up to maybe 60, maybe 65, something along those lines. Just get a little bit of speed going. And then what we'll do is we'll just pitch it right up. We'll keep it nice and coordinated. And I like to put the bottom of the instrument panel right there at the horizon. There's our stall. Nice little brake. We'll let the thing come forwards. You can kind of feel that whole rattle and shake and shimmy and everything else. And then again, it kind of comes right back. Likewise, a steep turn in this glider is pretty straightforward. So again, I want a little extra speed because I'm going to be, ramping up the load factor. So maybe we'll do a steep turn. I don't know, about 50 maybe. Right. So if we wanted to do one to the left, I'm going to use town here as my reference point. Right. Always want to have a good roll-out reference point. So we're 50, and I want to, I'll just roll it right into that 45 degree steep turn. Try to maintain about 50 miles an hour and let the speed get up. So I'll pitch up just a little bit. We're trying to keep the yaw string nice and straight, right? I'm getting a little bitty bit fast, but not too bad. And once again, the rollout is really pretty straightforward. Easy glider to fly. I'll take it right back to 45 because that's going to kind of give me my best shot here. The one place where you're going to get in trouble with this glider if you're not careful is going to be in descent planning. So as you're going to notice is we're not coming down as fast as you would in the 233, right? The 233 you'd be coming down at a good 200-300 feet per minute in this kind of smooth air that we're in, and we're not really coming down much at all. We're only coming down at maybe a couple of knots, or a couple hundred feet per minute. And so the thing we want to be paying attention to is we're flatter in the glide. We're also going to be flatter in the descent. So if you take a look at this, you've probably done this exercise in the 233, right? So we're at 45. I'm coming down. We'll call it 2 knots, right? If I then go ahead and unstill the dive brakes, and I bring those dive brakes all the way out, and I'm still maintaining my 45. Yeah, okay. So we start coming down a little bit faster, right? So we're going to come down, I don't know, maybe 400 feet per minute. If you look at the 233, you're going to come down, depending on how you load it, potentially a whole lot faster, right? So what would I normally do if I really wanted to come down? Well, what I'd be doing is I'd be coming to full dive brake, and then what I can also do is I can also slip it, right? If I slip it, now I'm looking at, I don't know, I'm looking at maybe another, at 500 feet per minute, right? 500 feet per minute is pretty good. Still not great though. You're still not going to be what you're used to in the 233. Here's where you can also get in trouble. So there's always a temptation to try to put the nose down. So let's say we ramp it up to 60, and then I'm going to go to full dive brake and full slip, right? We're coming down. We are coming down faster. Our descent rate's actually quite a bit faster. But what you're going to find is you're chewing up the ground so much faster that it kind of becomes a bit of an issue, right? You don't really steepen the descent rate all that much. So the best thing you can do for the best descent rate is to try to maintain that 45 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour or 55. Really and truly, I'm going to apply the approach of 55. Try to maintain that 55. Slip if you need to. Dive brakes if you need to, right? Do everything as appropriately as you can. But if you get to the point where it's just not going to work, you turn final and you realize you're way high. Another thing which you can always do is remember you're always back in that 2-knot limit, right? So we're only coming down at about 2 knots, 200 feet per minute. That means I can do a 360. Actually, let's try it, right? So here I am. I'm a completely clean glider. I've got the Blueberry Fields in front of me. If I just go ahead at a typical min-sync airspeed, I make a nice. I'm making like a 30-degree bank turn here, right? So I'm 50 knots, 30-degree bank turn. I'm turning around. We went into this just a little bit over, 1,700 feet. And I'm coming back around, taking my time, nothing crazy at all. And you're going to notice here, I'm maybe going to lose 100, 125 feet in that maneuver. It's going to be, it's like a complete non-event for the altitude that we're losing. So it's really nice, really simple, really easy to fly this thing. So, all right. So enough messing around. We're getting almost down here to our altitude. If you look just off to the left side here, you'll see there's a little sand pit. I don't know if you can see it, but that's what I'm going to use as my initial point. And so what we'll do is we'll start maneuvering over here towards the sand pit. We'll make sure the rig.
Starting downwind, 25 sand.
So we're getting down towards the pattern, so I'm going to go ahead and make a call. And Sanford traffic, Red Glider is just to the south side of the airport, 1,500 feet, and is descending. We're close to the downwind here, but we've got the downwind traffic in sight, and we'll remain clear.
Sanford traffic, crossing the grass in the gliding area.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little bit of maneuvering, just make sure we don't hit this poor guy. Sorry, you didn't quite catch that, but the glider is maneuvering. We're just going to be on your south side here. We've got team sight, no factor. All right. And I actually picked the wrong initial point because I don't know why. I picked the 147, and we're actually going to land behind him on 2.5. But that's all right? We're just going to kind of cruise on down here. We're going to maneuver to get onto, my initial point's usually over here. You can't really see it from where we are. But what we'll do is at about 1,200 feet, we'll start making our turn inbound, and we'll kind of walk through that whole process that we use. Real simple, real straightforward. It's all about energy management here, right? So we're coming up to about 1250. We're a little far out, so I'm going to go ahead and make that turn in just a little bit on the early side. I'm going to make sure the trim is full forward, right? I got my dive brakes. I'm going to go ahead and test them. We do have an aircraft in front of us in the pattern, but honestly, I'm not going to wait for him even if he flies a 747 size pattern. I'm just going to secure the radio so we're not in trouble. So you see, I don't know if you can see him, he's way out there. So we may wind up having to, share the runway with him, but that's just fine, right? We're coming onto the downwind at 1,100 feet. I'm going to, at this point, that's full brake right there. And so I'm going to go to about a half brake. I usually just put the knob just in front of that little window thing, right? And then it's just a matter of we're flying along. So we're kind of on a midfield downwind here. We're passing roughly a beam our point of intended landing. We're at 1,000 feet. We're going to be right behind these guys. I'm actually going to run a little bit long for him. And you're going to find that what feels really low and really long for you in a normal glider, or the 233, is actually going to feel just about right for you here. So we're going to go ahead and roll it on in here for our base turn. A little bit fast. I'm just going to cheat a little bit. I feel like I'm a little bit on the high side, and you can see how low this is from the from the 233 point of view, right? And we're going to kind of roll it out here onto our final. Life is good, and I'm looking for there's a 4,000 foot sign down there. That's typically where I want to flare. I'm a little bit on the low side. Hey, that's cool. I like being on the low side of this glider. So if I just go ahead and close those dive brakes, you're going to see that this thing here is going to float for days, right? So I got the dive brakes closed. Life is good. We're coming up on our round out point here. And then we just go ahead and float. Now again, just like on the 233, remember the wheel brake is actuated by the dive brakes. And so we're just going to want to make sure that we're not, going too fast. Going right out on the main wheel. We'll go ahead and roll her off the runway and we'll just put her right back into parking here. And life is good. So welcome back. I'm going to go ahead and shut the video down because it's going to get hot in here really quick. But if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to talk to me or talk to any one of the other instructors, and we'll see how it works. So thanks for flying with me.